know that Chris.
Yeah, man, bless.
Alright.
No, um, everything today.
Peace, yes.
That's what I see there.
Yeah. It's an animal, can you say?
Rastafari, blessed, give thanks. Yeah, clearly. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do give thanks for life and the mighty life giver, and we give thanks for all good things around us are sent from Zion above. So we praise for his divine love, and we will praise him for his sincere love, and praise him for all his merciful kindness that is forever towards I and I. Definitely we give thanks for this divine opportunity whereby we could um, be in the presence of one another, whereby we could sup together and we could actually just communicate, because I know these days that it is very hard for people to actually communicate with one another. People are easier for people to communicate via WhatsApp and text and Facebook and all these different things than just to speak to one another. So we give thanks that at least we are in this realms, in this little space today, as we in St. Lucia basically as the main thing when it comes to our wellness concern is that the increase in COVID-19 cases that we have been having down here, and I mean that is what is, I would say, is of the headlines. But I mean that it's been a while now. I remember from the time that we actually commenced our 5 minute every morning program on the radio. We have been telling people that they should basically boost up their immune system. That I mean, we even went as far as saying that um, we have transformed, morphed the Livity Ital or plant-based restaurant more into like a tea shop whereby people could actually come in and basically get more of the herbal teas and the different herbal blends that at least that they could um, uplift themselves. So definitely, I mean, it is up to you. I mean, the responsibility of how things end up when it comes to the whole aspect of your immune system, that is definitely up onto you as an individual. Have to take that responsibility that responsibility in overstanding that basically, and it is something that we have gone over and over and over. And I mean, you see even the whole realms of stress and how stress actually suppresses the immune system and worry and fear and panic. So if it is that that you are approaching a sharp corner, that bend, and then at the end of the bend there is that precipice that if you drive over it, you are gonna. If you know that, then at least that when you are approaching that spot, because you have that knowledge, what you do, you'd actually back down your gears and organize yourself to ensure that you don't damage yourself. But if you don't know what is it that you have to do to actually take care of yourself, then it is that you're going to panic. You understand? So it is something that is consistent with what is happening all around the world. Right now, I mean, you see that many of the different countries around the world, you have more and more cases of the COVID-19, and we have been telling people at the end of the day, these things are going to happen, because you know that um, you in the December season, and then you have dengue again, the dengue fever, and you don't even know if it's. I mean, you'd have to be very, because you know how it is. Now, when you have that fever with the dengue, and then you check in for that fever for the corona, I mean, there could easily be plenty confusion, right, in the whole aspects of dealing with these conditions. So definitely, it is a situation of concern. I mean, for us as citizens, that at least that we could begin to show ourselves some more self-love, and even show that level of understanding when it comes to the people around us, how it is that we're supposed to be practicing basic cleanliness habits. As a Rastafari, as a Bobo Shanti, in fact, I mean, it is a principle. It's a principle. It's a fundamental principle that, okay, we don't really shake hands, we bless the set of honor, I will give thanks. I even remember when that corona thing first bust out, Cox and company did a thing, and you blessed love, and they don't jump. That is what Bobo Shanti really do, and you blessed love, give thanks, we don't really shake hands. And this is a principle, even that ancient principle, right? Of it's not no offense, It's not that. It's just that as a priest, right? There are certain things that and your hand's supposed to be, because our principles when it comes to our cleanliness is different, right? So as a Rastafari, as a Bobo Shanti priest, right? Basically, I mean, it's a principle. It's not like as if it is something a if, a maybe, or a but, that you wash your hands before you eat, and it's a principle, that after you use the washroom, and if you urinate, you wash your hands. You see people by the road, people by the road, they urinate, and they just hold their penis, and they just pee, and they just shake that, and and then they put their back in the underwear, and then they come and they see you, and they have to jab. Yeah, I say, yes, sir, bless you, I say, and they bless you up and all them type of thing there. I mean, definitely, I see people do them things there. I'm not asking you whether I see. I see people practice them type of filthy practices. How can you touch your penis and then you just go and rub it on somebody? When you urinate and you done, and if you any man, no matter how professional you are, if it is that you are going to shake your penis to take out the excess urine from it, obviously some gonna come on your hands. So it is basically just a form of principle of good personal hygiene, right? That you practice good hygiene, you wash your hands very often. I mean, yes, it took Corona to actually get us to this point, but I mean, it's a good thing just to wash your hands very often. Bathe more often. So if you used to bathe, once a day, or every other day, however it is. So you could bathe more, and you could double whatever it is that you're doing. You could bathe more, cleanse yourself, practice good personal hygiene. All these simple things is natural things that actually just help to boost up your immune system, and prevent you from coming into contact with plenty of the so-called pathogens and whatever cause of whatever things that's outside that could actually get you sick. So it is very important that as a people that we definitely have to come to that understanding that yes, let us do certain things to take care of ourselves, Let us do certain things to to protect ourselves from sickness and disease. Because okay, so then you know that the vaccines are around the corner. Everybody is talking about the vaccines and this is that, and people getting more. That this might get people more reckless. You might say that because some people already have hope on them things in the vaccine. So people hearing that vaccine around the corner might even say, "Boy, vaccine there." So by the end of the day, nobody knows if the vaccine going to work. All the vaccine was rushed. Less than a year, coronavirus. Nobody a vaccine supposed to go all 10, 15 years of trials, before it's approved. You have vaccines that coming into circulation, right? Less than a year, you have people saying that they are vaccine and things that already, COVID-19. I mean, this thing they're not going anywhere to say one vaccine going to come and take care of that. No, I personally don't believe in that. I mean, what are you talking about vaccine? Every year you have the flu virus with the RNA. It's an RNA virus just like the coronavirus. And you know that RNA virus is very unstable. That's why every flu season you have two flu vaccines or three flu vaccines because all these different the viruses virus they are very unstable, so they mutate very easily. So it's not like you just create, right, a vaccine that's going to take care of all coronavirus now. So that's impossible, man. So these things there is more like fairy tales, where people have to basically take that fundamental responsibility of preventing yourself from to getting to that point, first and foremost, whereby you boost up your immune system, you take care of yourself. You practice good sanitation. So you don't gonna rub up and hug up on everybody. If a man have a cold, right, if a man have the flu, and a man sneeze, and then they pass their hands on the and the people do that. They sneeze and then they pass their hands right in their nose and all the mucus and everything, and then they shake somebody else's hands and they pass their hands there. That's how things spread, right? So that is why even in the Caribbean, I mean, definitely we have been more blessed that we've not had as many cases because our level of hygiene is a bit better than certain places in the world. But it's coming to the point whereby we having lots more cases in St. Lucia, right? So tonight, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over again some particular herbs that are very significant when it comes to the whole realms of how it is that the herbs that you could utilize to help to boost up your immune system, what you could do, and because at the end of the day, I must congratulate even the medical teams that have put things in place. So I mean, at least right now things are getting a bit out of control. Things are as worse it has been. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of hard work that is being put by these medical people to actually make sure that things are in a particular order, in whatever, based upon the knowledge that they have. Definitely, when it comes to the whole realms of the treatment of stuff, I mean, they have what they would recommend, and then I myself would have what I would recommend when it comes to that. I mean, in St. Lucia, it's not like St. Lucia, it is recognized that herbs does heal. People don't recognize that like that. No, don't ask me why. I mean, it's not like it's recognized. You see people, all type of countries having all type of thing, but when it comes to the whole aspect of the people themselves, right, would reach out for the herbs to take care of themselves, but it's not something that is recognized or that is institutionalized, whereby you could just go there and then the doctor at the hospital will tell you, well, look, you have a choice. You could either use that herb or you could use that drug. I mean, they're going to put you on what they have to put you on. Right? So at the end of the day, when it comes to the what we teach is primarily, right, preventative medicine. Set yourself in a position whereby you could be good enough to counteract, right, any of these conditions coming along instead of getting yourself or falling short with it in your realms. Because at the end of the day, when you get sick and you are in a critical position whereby you really can't move yourself to that extent whereby you could take care of yourself, that's when you get more compromised because your environment can kill you, right? Just because of your environment, right? So when it comes to to the whole realms of what is it that you're supposed to be doing now, the first step is remaining calm. So you don't panic. The more you panic, the more afraid you are, right? The more suppressed your immune system becomes. When someone is afraid, when you are frightened that something is going to happen, what's going to happen to you specifically is that your immune system is going to get suppressed, right? Because of a boost up of cortisol, right, in your bloodstream, that's going to suppress your immune system. So definitely, what's going to happen is that your immune system won't be as strong as it's supposed to be to combat the same little pathogens, the same little creatures outside there that actually could cause disease. All right, so the most important thing is to remain calm in yourself. When you are calm in yourself, you overstand that, okay, I'm calm in myself. I'm calm, okay, these things that is happening, but I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, I can do that to take care of myself. Right? But if it is that you panic, right, that is when your immune system makes you even more compromised. So the first thing is calm. All right, so what are the herbs that we could actually utilize when it comes to the realms of keeping yourself good? So we're talking about respiratory conditions, a condition that affects the respiratory system and affects every system with a physical structure. But at the end of the day, as I was saying, this is an RNA virus. This is basically A plus B plus C plus D and A plus B and C plus D, different locations, if different things join, then things that can break and join with something else and create something different, and then you have what you call mutation. All right. So as these things they mutate, that means that the symptoms in every you have new symptoms because you have different varieties because of small genetic changes within that virus. You have different things happening over and over again. That's why up to now they cannot get a vaccine for the HIV. No, they cannot get the vaccine for the HIV because the HIV is an RNA virus also. They mutate a lot, right? Because it's not like a DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, which is intertwined, which is like a solid molecule. It is what you call an RNA molecule. An RNA molecule is more like a messenger molecule or a transfer molecule. So these molecules now, what it's supposed to, is supposed to carry information for the producing of something else. Okay, so when you hear you have an RNA virus, that means that this is a sequence of genes, a genome that could actually infiltrate your cells and make your own cells produce certain things that could lead to your own detriment and replicate it. You understand that? So it is very important that we understand the instability of that entity. It's very unstable, right? So it quickly mutates, it changes form. That is why the HIV virus, being an RNA virus, it's very difficult to get a vaccine for it because of that constant mutation, because it's very unstable. When you have like DNA virus, right, or organisms or pathogens that have a DNA link up inside of them, these things they are more stable, so the characteristics can be more predicted, right? So then the RNA thing, you can't predict everything them things they would do. They will flip on you and change on you because of the very unstable nature of it. Hence, allowing it to actually mutate. So when you hear of okay, your vaccines coming and these type of things, that's not something that's supposed to actually make you get more reckless because you perceive that a vaccine will be coming, so you become reckless. So you do anything you want to do, you start to do all type of things because you don't care because they are a vaccine. You get the vaccine, everything will be alright. How you know that, right? So at the end of the day, it could be well every year from now, every period time you have a corona outbreak, and that could be the normal. You understand? So all these things there is based upon you. Just like plenty people have the flu, right? Plenty people have the flu every time. Plenty people have the flu every time. So the same way, plenty people could have that same little condition that they call the coronavirus, and then some people make it, some people don't. But there are things that you could do to actually make sure that you don't get the flu. So the same way with the coronavirus, there are things that you could do to ensure that you keep your immune system enhanced. And even if you are exposed to it, even if you are exposed to it, your system could actually still go through the process and you could actually survive. Right? So as it is that the time is moving from that point where you have a wave again of coronavirus, that's a different, that virus will never be the same virus that was there last week or last month. Yes, it contains, it's the same virus per se, but it would have gone through a series of mutations based upon the nature of what you call an RNA virus. It is just a sequence of biological molecules, right? That is information that can be transferred to your cells and make your cell replicate it, right? And produce particular toxins and whatever it is, man. These things there is just information, intelligence, right? That is actually within these little small molecules, whereby you as a person could actually, yeah, so yeah. That's why they say, well, it's easy to take care of the coronavirus. Why? Because it's just like a little fat blob, and inside of that fat blob is the nucleotides, right? It's whatever molecules that actually make it up. So when you wash out the fat blob, boom, that's it. It just disintegrates into nothingness because it's very unstable, right? So when we understand these core principles, that there are, as our physical structures, right, are always continually exposed to lots of microorganisms, to all type of different things that they are exposed, right? All type of things they are exposed to. But we now, as a people, because of our immune system that defends within us, right? That the Creator has actually created us with, manifested us with. This in its own right has the capacity to actually help us resolve plenty of conditions. So give thanks definitely for all those people who are with us on Instagram. Definitely give thanks. See Michelle Alonso, blessings increase, Empress Daughter, Jajesi, Bill Toon, Kyle Christian, Diamond Kush. Give thanks right earlier. Shantik, Shant, Nick, Jadrex 24, Living Sane, Mobile OK, alright, and we go on and on and on. Give thanks for everyone I can't mention, every single one that is there, because you know there are quite a few of you. So give thanks for all those of you who are here with us. Definitely, we give thanks for life and the mighty life giver, and give thanks for this opportunity whereby we could operate with a level of intelligentsia, a level of understanding, whereby our decisions cannot be rash and may not be panicky. So the more intelligent you are about a situation, the more equipped you are to deal with it, right? So you have to learn to deal with your things in a manner whereby you have an understanding. So if it is that they're talking about washing your hands with soap, you understand that. It's because when you wash your hand with soap, this molecule, this entity, this virus is so unstable that the the fat, the lipid, the fatty coat that surrounds the the base pairs, right? As long as you take that off it, it's become so unstable that it just disintegrates and become nothing. So you just kill it, right? But when it is that you understand that principle, then you know why it is that you are doing it. Then you will be doing it better. Because plenty people talking about, sometimes you go in a store and the people fussing and they're saying about sanitize. Oh man, you have to sanitize in a man. You have to sanitize in a man. And then the people fussing about it, and then they come and just spray their hands, pss, pss, and then the person they spray and just with their hand something and they just gone. Now you have that's the hand, and you have all between the fingers, you have all the tip of the fingers and everywhere. Now if you just spray a little sanitizer in the center of your hand and you just wipe your hand to it, that means all these parts of your hand still have not been sanitized, right? So it's also about knowing if it is that you. That's why I say, well, sanitization is just like what you call putting perfume on you don't bathe and thing. You understand what I mean? So better you wash your hands properly. I think that most of the companies who have them kind of washing things, that's excellent. This would actually, and if people wash their hand properly, this would definitely be something that is more proactive for people to actually do. If you are going to be sanitizing, you have to make sure you spray the hands properly and pass the alcohol within all the crevices of your fingers and make sure you rub it in, so at least it could be effective. Or you could just be practicing a ritual without understanding exactly what it is that you are doing. All right. So give thanks for all those people who are with us. Like definitely for the people in Saint Lucia also. We give thanks as we are live on YouTube also. Yes, honorable, and also we are live right on Instagram and Facebook on HTS, and we are going to answer some questions. So the people who have any questions, whether you have some questions on Instagram or on Facebook, or you have some questions on in Saint Lucia, let us just put up the line, open up, so whoever wants to call to ask whatever question, they could actually ask whatever question that they want to ask. So those of you who want to ask a question on Instagram also, you could go ahead, you could ask that question. So I don't want them to WhatsApp now. Okay, yeah, they can WhatsApp if they want, but I'm not going to be doing WhatsApp. The lines open 1758-452-2693. Definitely, you could give us a call. Let us hear what you have to say. So, general sanitizing, cleaning, personal hygiene, bathe more often, wash your hand properly, right? If it is that you're going to be sanitizing, make sure that you pass the alcohol in your hands. It's for a purpose. It's not just for style or just because you have to do it. So if you're doing it, you should do it properly so at least you could destroy. The alcohol does melt fat, right? So as you add the alcohol, it destroys the fat, it exposes the very fragile, right, endoskeleton, which is of the, it's not really strong. It's when I say that, it is basically the skeleton of it is just nucleotides, base pairs joined together that carries a particular message that could be replicated within your cells. Right? So when you overstand that, then if you are going to be sanitizing, you do it properly. If you are washing, you wash your hands properly. All right. How to improve eye health? I am finding I have to wear my reading glasses more, and how to keep. Well, definitely, I mean, you could use vervine. Drink plenty of the vervine juice, the green juice of it. You could make the tea and wash the eyes, or you could also use what you would call the chalice water. Yes. Yes, caller, blessed. Yes, blessed. Yeah, give thanks, honorable. Give thanks, honorable. Give thanks, Rastafari. Yeah, man. Give thanks. Give thanks. Rastafari. Give thanks. Yeah, man. Give thanks for the call. Rastafari. Give thanks. Yeah, man. Give thanks for the brethren. I mean, those of you on Instagram, you want behind the call because it comes into my earpiece right here. Not on YouTube, but the brethren just call, just saying give thanks and then blessing up. I mean, if you want to call, even wherever you are in the world, it's not right as if you can be cheap. You could also call internationally 1758-452-2693. Definitely. So eye health, the vervine, you could use it, the water to wash your eye. Also, you have the plantagomaya, what they call the plantain. It's very good to wash the eye, definitely. And also you have the eye bright, all these things, they are very good. Okay, so, and palm oil, the very ethically grown palm, the palm from the palm nut that comes from the palm tree that is grown in the wild in Africa. Definitely, that's excellent. Does the herbal manual have all? Yeah, but the herbal manual have more than what I'm saying. The herbal manual is definitely well stocked up. What can I drink for sickle cell pain? Well, I mean, if it is sickle cell, basically is that because your cells are not the red blood cells supposed to be shaped like a nice oval shape, like a donut, and the donut because they don't really have a nucleus. Red blood cells have nucleus. Okay, they shape like a donut because the nucleus is like a nucleus have been plucked out. The fundamental purpose is the carrying of oxygen and also the carrying of carbon dioxide also. Right. So at the end of the day, what happens is that um, when someone has sick cells, that the shape of that cell transforms from being um, like a donut into like a sickle, like a crescent, a sickle. So then it cannot really travel through the blood vessels as it's supposed to travel. So it gets stick up, and when it stick up, that's when you have that what they call the crisis. All right, so lots of green juices with the vervine, right? Also, you have herbs like the seed on the leaf, right? Also, you have I mean, the cannabis herb is an extract from the cannabis herb that's very effective, particularly for the pain. But you definitely have to boost up your iron, and then organize yourself, and then on your iron. Use this on the leaf, use the vervine, you also use the stinging nettle, and to help the blood flow, you could use bay leaf. Bay leaf helps to warm the blood, help the blood to flow, and also turmeric. But you have to boost up high iron rich herbs and also herbs that actually allow the blood to flow properly. Yes, caller, blessed. Yes, another blessed. Give thanks. Yeah, blessed. What I does do is like take a little charcoal. I could just pong a little charcoal. You could dry some ginger and just telling you what you can do. Because remember, growing up when you have toothpaste is salty, you used to use the brush your teeth after. Or you could use the neem stick as a true stick, right? I prefer personally to just dehydrate some ginger, powder it, right? Get some charcoal, right? Okay, let's say I put a tablespoon of 3 tablespoons of ginger, like a tablespoon of charcoal, right? And then put like a teaspoon of sea salt, you understand? And put like a tablespoon of powdered neem, and I could put it in a nice airtight container and well shake it and mix it up. And that you could use that to brush your teeth. So the ginger freshens the breath, right? The charcoal powder also freshens the breath, and also because it's activated so small, it forms that kind of roughness that could actually help to massage your gums and also take out all them filth from your teeth. And also the sea salt, also helps, gives that kind of that abrasive nature to help to whiten and clean out your teeth, right? So definitely that is what I recommend as a natural toothpaste. And so your paste is a powder, tooth powder, to clean out your mouth and your teeth. All right, so definitely, um, those are you didn't hear the question, but that's what the question the person was asking. Where can I get the Vervine to purchase? I mean, Shantik, I mean, if it is that you're not in if you're in St. Lucia, then definitely you can get it at Livity on Jeremy Street. If you're not in St. Lucia, you could go on akimpierre.com. Definitely akimpierre.com. You could order it right on akimpierre.com and you will get the blue Vervine. The blue Vervine. So questions, any of you have any questions, definitely you could ask your questions if it is that you have any questions, or you could give us a call 1-758-452-2693. So the master herbs for boost up of your immune system is what you call the animal root, right? What they call the feuille du vent. The root of the feuille du vent is a herb that you could utilize specifically. Just boil the root, right, and drink the water continually. Very rich in sulfur, very strong antiseptic. You could even use it to clean around your area, and you could even use the leaves and burn it, right, to purify your air because of the high antiseptic properties, the high sulfur compounds that it actually contains inside of it. So that specifically, I would recommend that a lot. The elderberry plant, right, the leaves and the flowers specifically as a tea helps to break the fever. Very good, excellent in helping to boost up your immune system. And I would still say the vervine again as a master herb. The stinging nettle, right, very effective. And also you could do hot steams when it comes to steaming and breathing in all them herbs there, especially again the gully root. You could just pong it, right, and then don't even have to, as long as you get the fresh, pong the roots, right, and put that in a basin and cover your head over it and start to inhale to make your iron, remove all mucus, because mucus actually allows these forces to actually bind and stay within your system, right? So it cleans off mucus from your physical structure. All right, so be wise. You mentioned boosting iron. How? Okay, I'm in Canada, Shantnik. I mean, definitely akimpierre.com is in Canada, Vancouver. So it's akimpierre.com. Definitely you could get that from there. Writer Slayer, you mentioned boosting iron. You could use herbs like red raspberry. Red raspberry is very rich in iron, right? Red raspberry, potent source of iron. Even the king of the forest, the cassialata, yes, it is a very good cleanser, but also very rich in your iron. All right, the stinging nettle very rich in iron. All right, the skin of our original banana very rich in iron. Okay, also you have the vervine also is an iron powerhouse. So you could do green juices in all these things, or you could just drink the teas. Amaranthus dubious is also very rich in iron. All right, BY is 19. My wife is on Livity ricetam 500 milligrams. That's generic for Kepra. The doctor gave her that for epilepsy. How can I take her off that and put her on cannabis? I mean, you have to talk to your doctor about that, right? Because then these things they are psychedelic and psychoactive drugs, right? So, um, I mean, they give children these drugs too, right? But these things there, I would strongly recommend that. You see, if it is that you working with a doctor, you have to work on the doctor to actually decrease the dosages while you actually begin to implement the cannabis therapy, right? Because and then also you do introduce the cannabis oil by increments, meaning that I'd rather start off someone on a concentration, a 25% concentration, right, of the CBDs, right, and then um, increase it as the time progress, right, and at the same time you monitor the frequency of seizures, and with that you actually decrease or you wean them off these epileptic drugs that you have them on. All right, so it is very important that you do it in that manner, control manner, and just get off things and then jump on other things just like that. It's good to wean yourself off these drugs, because they have half lives. They have a time that they spend within your physical structure, and they do have withdrawal symptoms because they are drugs, right? So you have to be able to wean yourself off it properly. Guinea hen weed. Yeah, Guinea hen weed is the same animal. It's very good for the immune system. All right, bam, bam, bam. Any more questions here? Let me see that here now. What about the leaf of life? I heard this is very good. Very good for what? Blessed love, we call gully root kojo root here in Antigua. Yes, we call it kojo root in Antigua. And also in Dominica. Yeah, but Anamu, you're right. Blessed love, 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 honorable. Family sending ever live life, give thanks, fresh factory. Basically, do give thanks. What is your opinion on iridology? Thanks. I don't really have opinion on iridology. If it is that, I mean, it helps, and then you sick and you go to someone who could look into your eyes and tell you what's wrong with you, and then they help you. Well, I mean, give thanks. Like I have an opinion. I mean, it's basically if it works for you and it benefits you, give thanks for it. So at the end of the day, the system that we must have is a system that is designed for the upliftment of people. It's not a better than a competition thing, right? So the system must be designed in a manner whereby it's for the upliftment of people. So if the system works and it's beneficial for people, then come on, I would say that. Yes, caller, blessed. Yeah, I think we lost that caller. All right, so I don't know what you want to say about the leaf of life, my sister, but yeah. So any more questions? Definitely you could ask them. Um, any more questions that you might have? Yes, honorable. Numbness is associated with poor circulation, correct? Well, numbness is associated with poor circulation, but when it's numb, it's more like a lack of feeling. So it would be more like nerves, right? Yes, circulation, but when you're numb, it's like your nerves are also affected. So it is important that the numbness would also have to do with the nerves also. All right. Numbness in hands and feet. These things there. You see, sometimes you have numbness in hands and feet, and it's because of vitamins deficiencies, right? So even before you start to think about it, some type of other thing, sometimes it's a vitamin deficiency that you have. So it's important that you understand. So if the person, you need to know the person's age, their diets, what they eat, what they don't eat, then we'll be able to actually give you a more precise understanding of exactly what is going on with the people. Right, so we look at boost of the immune system. As we said that right now we have a surge in the coronavirus, cases in St. Lucia. So I mean, I say surge, I mean that we didn't have anything. Now you have three, you have four, you have five, them type of things there. I mean it's a lot, right? Never used to be like that before, right? So I'm saying, look, first don't panic. Relax yourself. When you panic and you're fearful, your immune system is suppressed, right? Avoid all them soft drink and sweet drinks and all them things there, them sugary things. All these things there also suppress the immune system, right? Also, what you have to do now, as I say, practice good sanitation, hygiene, sanitizing around yourself, your space, right? And personal hygiene when it comes to washing your hands before you eat, washing your hands after you use the washroom, right? Don't dig into your nose with your hands and then go and check other people's hands. Just have love for yourself. What can I use to treat my boyfriend's low sperm count? I mean, definitely it is be important to boost up the whole CMOS intake, zinc. So the more zinc you have within your physical structure, the better it is for the sperm to actually mature. So zinc actually helps in the maturity of sperm. So zinc deficiency can actually overwork your prostate and actually cause your prostate to swell, right? Just because zinc is instrumental in prostatic health. So a lot more of the Irish moss, definitely. The Medina, excellent. The root of the gully root root, that also helps to boost up the sperm count, right? Lots of walnuts and these type of things there, lots of cocoa, so definitely what you have to do, you have to avoid hot baths too. Don't go and take plenty of hot baths and sit down in hot tubs, because hot water that's actually kills sperm. So you must understand that if it is that you are infertile, meaning that you are trying to get fruitful. Yes, be Howard, give thanks, my brother, blessed love, give thanks for joining. If it is that you are trying to get fruitful, you are trying to have a child, and then your sperm count is already low. Remember, every ejaculation is over 400 million sperms. So when a man actually ejaculates, he's ejaculating over 400 million sperms. So when you talk about low sperm count, right, a low sperm count would be specifically probably less than 300 million, 200 million. So you might be ejaculating 100 million sperms, and then you now are still you have a low sperm count because it's 100 million sperms, and then one sperm in it. But an ejaculate of a man supposed to have over 400 million sperms. All right, then you ask yourself then, how well are these sperms? Can they swim? Do they have one head, two heads, two tails, three tails? Are they normal sperms? Are they just there? Can they move? Right? So even if you have sperms, how viable are these sperms? So when one takes a hot bath, because of the change of the temperature, the temperature itself of the water, because the sperm specifically survives at a particular temperature. That's why the sperm is stored on the outside of the physical structure in the testicles. So when it is that you put the sperm in a hot condition, what the testicles do, it actually relaxes. And if it's in a cold condition, the testicles actually pulls up itself close to the physical structure to get more heat, to maintain that particular temperature. So if your sperm count is already low, avoid hot baths, brother. I mean, you're killing more sperms. Avoid tight underwear. You're killing your sperms, right? Focus on boosting it up by having more and more CMOS, because CMOS has a lot of the zinc and also lots of, and get the bladder work. The bladder work would have a lot more iodine, right? The bladder work has plenty of iodine, and the iodine is very important for glandular function. And also you look at the selenium. All these things, they are very important in what you call spermatogenesis, in the creation of your sperm. And also self-confidence as a man. A man could have low sperm count because of low self-confidence, right? So it is very important that a man that is rejected, his testosterone levels will definitely go down. Low testosterone, low libido, right, low sperm count, right? So it is very important that as a man you maintain this high level of confidence. If it is that it did not work yesterday, I mean, you don't have to be so afraid. I mean, you see, without confidence, you defeated even before you start the race. Yes, Fresh Factory. I mean, definitely remember we are live here in St. Louis. So when I get a call, as you're national television, you might not hear a caller, right? But I would hear it in my episode for the people on Instagram, on YouTube. But I mean, definitely you could ask your questions, type your questions right there, and I will assist you. So as we say, for the people in St. Lucia in particular, it is important that we exercise that good personal hygiene, good in of our area. Bathe a lot more often. Wash your hands a lot more often, right? Exercise, drink plenty more water, eat plenty more fruits, plenty more vegetable salads. Stop the sweet because remember, stress boosts up your cortisol level. Cortisol locks down your immune system. Sugary foods locks down the immune system. So you avoid that. You avoid stress, you avoid sugary foods, you avoid fried foods, you avoid junk foods. Do a water fast, do a coconut water fast, do a juice fast, whereby you cleanse out your colon, you clear out mucus from your physical structure, boost up your immune system. Definitely you are in a better space. I heard you mention a lot about elderberry leaves and flowers, but what about the berries? I mean, the berries are the berries. The berries are also extremely good. But in St. Lucia, what happens in St. Lucia is that the birds love the berries so much that you have to be extremely blessed to get the berries before the birds. So in St. Lucia, the people, the people specifically, what they would be doing is that they would be harvesting the berries in a timely manner. In England, you have as much birds. You have berries in England flourishing, but in the Caribbean, the tropics, man, the birds eats up the berries before. Greetings. Is there a way to shrink uterine polyps? Definitely, you could do vaginal inserts with the castor oil leaf and with the castor oil and also with cannabis oil, and then you do like an insert, and also you push it up against the cervix. Very effective. Also, yoni steams with the, we have our yoni steam mix, right? But you're talking about the bay leaf, the anamu, the vervine, right? The St. John's bush, right? The cinnamon leaf, and the back, and the stem, all these things there mixed up together. Plenty different other herbs to form that unit steam mix to help to nourish the inner aspect of the womb. And also we have, but also ask about what you call the meal package. Empress daughter, definitely you have a meal package. Yes, B Howard, currently doing a dry fast for 3 more days. Give thanks, man. Fasting is instrumental. What fasting does, it allows your physical structure. Okay, so when you fast the physical, you strengthen your spiritual. Okay. Also, what fasting does, fasting allows the cleansing of your gastrointestinal tract. That's why every day you're supposed to have breakfast. So breakfast or break the fast in the morning is because you're supposed to be fasting, abstaining from food throughout the night. So you have that cleansing of your gastrointestinal tract, and then you break the fast by consuming something early in the morning. So taking a dry fast, very important, cleanses out your colon, allows your colon to actually cleanse out itself. It makes you much more happy because the gastrointestinal tract is the other place that you have serotonin actually being produced, the feel good hormone. So you have your fasting, helps to boost up your spirituality, helps to boost up your immune system, and helps to allow your physical structure to actually burn out and eat out all the stored up waste within the physical structure. The birds indiscreet. Yes, I mean definitely the birds know what is good for them. What is a dry fast? I mean, be Howard. Someone is asking what your dry fast actually incorporates. But for me, when I fast, I don't drink, I don't eat, I don't do anything at all. I just fast. I don't eat. No, I don't eat, I don't drink, nothing at all. What I do, I would fast, like abstain from even water for a period of time. All right. Um, Okay, you see no water. Be how it says no water. Give thanks, he answered you. Okay, so Alexander, blessed love, honorable, give thanks. Bam bam bam. Is water good to drink first thing when you rise? Yeah, water is excellent. Right? Water is excellent to drink, especially like room temperature, not cold water, room temperature water. You would actually squeeze a rough cut lemon or a key lime or a sour orange in it. Very good, and a little pinch of bird pepper, and drink that first thing in the morning. It helps to just flush out your physical structure. All right, and it's always good to go and sit down on the toilet and do some deep breathing exercise, belly breathing. So even if you don't want to free up, just go over the toilet. Definitely you're going to free up your structure. All right, so we give thanks for life and a mighty life giver. As you know, we are live streaming here on Instagram. So most of the questions that we have is from Instagram. I'm not even able to answer my YouTube questions tonight. I don't have my laptop with me. But I mean, definitely people don't feel neglected today that I'm giving the brothers and sisters here on on Instagram some attention, right? Because you know how it is. You always get the attention on YouTube. So 17584522693 for people in St. Lucia. Definitely give us a call. For those of you who might want to ask a question. And remember what we are doing, we are working towards boosting up the immune system. And the skin is is the biggest immune system barrier. It's the first step to your immune system, your skin. It's that protection that your inner organs, your internal self have from the outside world. So keeping that skin clean, washing your hands often, bathing more often, right? And just really, when you've been bathed, you bathe properly. Because sometimes we believe like people just know when they say to bathe, they know how to bathe, right? When you bathe in, right, you're really supposed to get a rag, okay? And really, whatever type, I mean, I just use a particular type of soap. I don't know what type of soap that people just use, but okay. When you well rag up your soap, or if it's lime juice you're using, you well put it in the lime juice and you scrub underneath your neck, behind your ears and inside of the ears, and around your nose, and well scrub. You have to rag up yourself. So most times we will tell people, well, bathe properly then, but at the end of the day, people don't know what is bathing. So when you scrub up, when you rag up behind your neck, so if every time when you put a little white sheet, you see behind the neck of the sheet is dark, right? That means that you have lots of dirt. Been stuck in the creases behind it. So you have to scrub, right? You have to scrub, scrub yourself properly, cleanse yourself properly, proper hygiene. Yes, caller, blessed. Yes, caller. Yes, blessed. I'm hearing you. Go ahead. When you have what? Piles. So you had surgery already? Okay, well, what you have to do, because you're going through a healing process. The piles is basically when the veins around the anus actually become varicose. They are enlarged. So when they remove that excessive stretched out tissue, you just have to allow, make sure that she has good bowel movement and it's very soft, that she don't damage it, nor actually get it infected. So you could use cassia lata, right? So what happens is that you just boil like about a liter of water, and you put about a 13 leaves of the cassia lata in it, and you allow them to drink the cassia lata, through in the evening hours or the early morning hours. So it helps to keep the feces nice and soft. All right. So what you do also is that you could do a nice little warm sits, meaning that you could boil some water, you chop in some aloe vera, you put some aloe vera in the water, you put some sea salt or some crystals, and then you sit down in the warm water. Don't stay too long to put too much pressure on the stitches, but you sit in that to allow to have the healing process. And whenever you defecate, don't wipe, you always wash yourself to prevent contamination. Okay? Give thanks. All right, give thanks. What soaps do I use? Hmm. That's I have to show it to you. I mean, well, I mean, there are plenty of people in our communities who make soaps without whole heap of lye and whole heap of chemicals inside of it. So I like natural soaps with very little chemicals and lots of natural fragrances. We have people who do our own soaps, right? With the appetite booster is cannabis cinnamon. I mean, definitely, hands down, you'll eat up the house. Yes, caller, blessed. Yes, go ahead. Yes, blessed love. Well, inflammation in the body. I mean, you mean the whole body? Well, I mean, inflammation just means that your physical structure is like under attack. Your immune system is constantly trying to destroy some particular things. Herbs that are very good anti-inflammatory herbs are herbs like the same way I mentioned earlier, cassia lata. So you do like a 7 days of cassia lata, where you could do based upon, if you were extremely constipated, you could go as high as 21 leaves, and you could come down to 9 leaves if you are mildly constipated or you have good regular feces. So you could go like, let's say 14 leaves. Every night you boil a liter of water, you actually put the 14 leaves, you allow it to cool through the night, and you drink it through the morning hours every day for 7 days, and you do a fresh batch of that. And utilize also as your water, you could utilize herbs like the shine bush, what they call the Zebak West. That's also a very good anti-inflammatory, right? And then you avoid spicy foods, right? You avoid junk foods, right? Also, what you do, you drink plenty more water, lots of fresh water, and you could also incorporate like young coconut water. All right, so you also use lots more of your fresh garden salad, fresh fruits, and avoid too much fried foods and cooked foods for a period of 7 days. So you actually cleanse yourself, and you put more water into your physical structure to cool off your structure. And after the 7 days, you take a free up laxative to cleanse out yourself. Lord blessed. Fresh factory. The cinnamon bath for conception should be taken in hot water, sister. Hot. Anytime when you hear about conception and them type of things there, is hotness. Right? That is for the woman. Right? Yeah. What? Okay. All right. Yes, caller, blessed. Yes, sister, blessed. Well, fibroids, when you're dealing with fibroids, it's not just like it's one thing, because fibroids is caused by estrogen dominance. So we have a whole 21-day program for that. So it's like a 21-day program. So you have the female package, you have to take that, plus you have to change your diet, plus you have to be happy, then you have to rest things over the womb. So it's a 21-day program for the fibroids. It's not just like one thing. If you bleed heavy, right, there's a herb to help stop the bleeding. That's what they call the periwinkle. Helps to stop the excessive bleeding, right? Also, for fibroids, most people with fibroids are anemic, you tell them take the red raspberry, right? To help to cleanse the womb, you tell them take the St. John's bush, right? Yoni steams, meaning that you take vaginal steams, and also lots of poultices and vaginal inserts. All these things are things that you have to do to get the fibroids. Not just one herb for the fibroids, it's a program for the fibroids. Okay? Yes, we do. Yes, that's at the shop on Jeremy Street. Okay? All right, blessed. Honorable, I need to pass a drug test from cannabis. Please advise. I don't add any vice. Okay. I don't add any vices. I'm Tion. I don't add vice. Right? I could tell you well. I mean, right now, just go in a state in America where the herb is free, man. Or you live in there and think. Just go. They have so many states where the herb is free. But anyway, you could use the King of the Forest. It's a very good blood cleanser. Or just order the free up laxative on our website, and then order the blood detoxifier that will actually take care of that. Okay, but if you don't have that, use the King of the Forest, use Vervine, or any other things that will actually help you. All right, give thanks. Yes, caller, blessed. Yeah, blessed love. Mm-hmm. Well, sciatica, I mean, definitely, it's inflammation again. It's your sciatic nerve, which is a nerve that comes from your spine and goes down to your leg. Is actually um, being agitated for whatever reason, right? So if it is your posture, you have to work on your posture. If you overweight, you have to lose some weight, right? Lots of stretches, but herbs like stinging nettle, herbs like vervine, that's good for the nerves, right? Herbs like the rosemary, right? These things they are good herbs for that. Also, you need to take a lot of massages with warm castor oil and cayenne pepper powder along the spine. Okay, that's very important. All right, and fundamentally you have to lose off the weight. And we have a product called the Raslac syrup and the Icon syrup. These two products that will help you a lot. All right, love, blessed. You're welcome. What causes spotting during ovulation? I mean, if you spot when you ovulate, that means that your estrogen level is too high. Okay, so that's not nice. You're not supposed to stop when you spot when you're ovulating. You're supposed to, when you ovulate, that's the time that you're supposed to be having children. You're not supposed to be bleeding that time. All right? Yeah, man. Okay, so you need to balance your hormones. Your hormones are in balance. All right. So we have about 2 minutes remaining. Definitely, we give thanks for all those people who have been with us and all those people who have been asking questions. You know, give thanks again for all those of you who were live with us here on Instagram, um, all those people who were live on Facebook. You know, we give thanks for that. You know, and we give thanks for all those of you in St. Lucia who have called, you know, and asked questions, and then all those of you who have looked at the program. So we just pray that you just observe what is happening in the country, and as a people that we are very vigilant when it comes to the things we do to safeguard ourselves and make ourselves more proactive when it comes to safeguarding our health and the health of our children. Take care of your children, right? Make sure you give them the fresh juices. Make sure you give them the salads. Make sure you give them the bush teas, the elderberries, the vervine, the cassialata, and all these different herbal teas, right? Make sure you actually monitor them, that at least that they could actually be safe from these dangerous creatures outside there. And you know how it is that we are working very hard to remain strong and well as a country, that no one would have to come and mandate vaccines on us. Right? So just take care of your divine self. Love yourself. Remember, we are open up on Jeremy Street in Castries. Pass and give us a visit. We have everything there waiting for you to take care of you. So all love and prosperity, peace divine. May the Creator shine His holy face upon your holy face. And even if your face not holy, His face will still shine on your face.